Hey guys, welcome back to Newbreed Film Reviews. This is Dave, and we are on episode 80. And on this episode, I'm going to be doing a solo review on Deadpool. Just saw Deadpool today, got out of work early, so I had some free time on my hands, and why not kill that time by checking out a movie that I was like super excited for, and that was getting great reviews. It has Ryan Reynolds. I am a big fan of Ryan Reynolds. Love the guy. Very underrated. And yeah, I checked out Deadpool. It was nice and early, so the theaters weren't crowded, which is always a great thing. You don't got to deal with like riffraff and distractions. Always a good time. So the first portion of this episode, I'm going to try to refrain from all spoilers. And if I do get into spoilers, you guys are going to have fair warning to get off the podcast. So don't worry. I'm not going to ruin anything for you other than what you've already seen, like in the trailers or have heard. So right off the bat, I'm going to say Deadpool was outstanding. It was simply outstanding. For the type of movie it is, a fun, raunchy, dark, gory superhero flick, Deadpool was just amazing. I'm gonna grade it like right away. I'm gonna get this grade done. I give Deadpool an A. It's an A. For what the movie is, it's a flat out A. It's like one of the better that have been released. Ranks up there with Iron Man 1, Captain America Winter Soldier. A lot of people, they forget about this. Yes, this is Marvel, and it was one of the first movies that started the superhero blockbuster trend, Blade 1. It was on par with these movies, but completely different. It's just like a different kind of superhero movie. Like I said, like, it's very dark. The humor is absolutely just messed up. It is screwed up and raunchy. They couldn't have picked a better actor to play Deadpool. Ryan Reynolds just completely nailed it. Nobody can ever play Deadpool but him. Similar to like nobody could ever play Wolverine but Hugh Jackman. Nobody can play Iron Man but Robert Downey Jr. Nobody can play Ant-Man but Paul Rudd. It's the same story. Ryan Reynolds he just owned the role, and he was born to play that character. His humor and his delivery and his style was just like perfect for the movie. What else could I say about this movie? What kind of praise? I don't have one gripe about the film, and I'm kind of picky at times, and I'm not a bandwagon jumper, and I always keep it real. I don't go with like popular opinion just to go with it. I will be the odd man out. And I gotta say, man, I don't have not one complaint about Deadpool. I absolutely would recommend it to somebody. You know, it's worth the ticket. I may actually go see it again. I 150% for sure would own it. So, I mean, that's how I feel about the movie. It was just great. Some of the standout things about the film, the music, the OST. I'm not talking about the music they used for it, like, DMX X is gonna give it to you, which was like genius and like hilarious when they played that song for certain scenes. I'm talking about the original score. It was like a 80s techno dubsteppy rock mix, like weird compilation, like mixture. And it was kind of like his theme music. And when Deadpool would like run up and kick ass, like this kind of like music would kick on, and it was like chaotic and like raw. And it was perfect for the character because he's chaotic and raw. The movie was a perfect blend of comedy and violence, extreme, gratuitous violence, and raunchy comedy. It was just like very, very unique. I don't think I've ever seen a movie that that did it this well, like blend comedy and shock, gore, and horror. And I honestly, the gore was funny. That was actually like a comedic aspect of the film, because the way some dudes died was just like, it was fucking hilarious. It was just funny. As you can see from the trailer, they had Colossus in the film. That's not a spoiler, that's well known. I was very pleased about that, because I think Colossus is a really cool Marvel character, and he hasn't really been represented on screen very well. He was like in the watered down X-Men movies, and he didn't get a lot of screen time, which sucked, because he's kind of like the X-Men's Hulk. You know what I mean? The Avengers have the Hulk and the X-Men have Colossus. And Colossus is like this like super strong, can lift 70 tons metal behemoth. He has like organic steel. He can kind of just make his skin into organic steel like at will. And he's a really cool character, man. And he has like a lot of honor. And he's like he's just an interesting character that hasn't gotten his due on screen, but this time he did. Another highlight of the movie, I would say, is Gina Carano. Gina Carano, first of all, she's not bad to look at. She's so freaking sexy. That woman is like gorgeous. And like, I called this a long time ago. She should have been Wonder Woman. But I'm not hating on Gal Gadot, but Gal Gadot just doesn't have the frame for Wonder Woman. That's just my opinion. I think Gina Carano would have been excellent. And in this movie, in Deadpool, she played a cool villain. Had a lot of screen presence, and I'm happy that her career is continuing to progress. I really like her. Me being like an MMA guy, huge fan of the sport. I follow her career, and she was like the first true women's MMA, pioneer, and a person that brought women's MMA to the forefront of the sport. And people think it's Ronda Rousey. No, it's Gina Carano and Strikeforce kicking ass. So again, I'm happy for her. She seems really down to earth and humble. What else did I like about this movie without spoiling it? I liked the action. The action was raw, in your face, pulled no punches. The movie was just like a strong rated R, and that's how you gotta do it. When you have Deadpool, Wolverine, Ghost Rider, The Punisher, these characters, you have to make them dark and gritty. Daredevil, like Netflix got it perfect with Daredevil, and I'm super excited because The Punisher should be getting his own series played by John Bernthal, biggest Punisher nerd in the world right here. But again, you cannot make these dark Marvel characters PG-13, and the studio's doing that. It's an absolute crime, because the characters, their integrity is like compromised. You can't portray them correctly if it's not rated R. And the studios, what they try to do is they try to make as much money as they can, and they'll sacrifice like I said, the integrity of these characters, and the diehard fans are going to hate that. And like word spreads, and people are going to say, oh, Punisher sucked, or Wolverine sucked. It was like freaking watered down, and that's negative energy and a negative buzz. And that just like goes around, and it can hurt ticket sales. And even casual fans, man, like it's just not natural. You can't take a character that has like dark origins and is a total badass, and you can't make it, can't make him into like Barney's Second Coming. You can't make it kid friendly. You just can't. And I think Marvel has learned that, because look at the success of Jessica Jones. Look at the success of Daredevil. Look at the extreme success of Deadpool right off the bat. It got great reviews. IMDb gave it an 8.8. Rotten Tomatoes, 84%. It made like 90 million already. And the proof is in the pudding, man. Do these guys correct, and the fans will come, people will pay for the tickets, and the movies will have like a lasting effect, you know, like they'll be like cult classics, similar to like Blade 1. Blade 1 is like a favorite of many, many, many people. It's just a badass movie because it's dark. So I don't really know what else to say about Deadpool. I honestly don't want to spoil it for anybody out there. I just want to say that the villains in the movie were colorful. Like Gina Carano she was a cool villain. The main villain, which his name was Ajax in the film, Ed Skrein, I believe that's how you pronounce his name. I was really impressed by him, and I know that he played the new transporter, and he kind of reminded me of Tom Hardy. He got like some Tom Hardy swag going on, but he was good. He really stood out. I thought he was like a great villain. Again, going back to Ryan Reynolds, the guy's so underrated, man. Ryan Reynolds is so talented. He's great at comedy. He's a good actor, man. Anybody who says otherwise, you're crazy. He did that one movie, I believe it's called Buried, where he was like in a coffin. He carried the whole movie in a coffin. It was Castaway 6 Feet Under. You know, that's not easy. That is hard. And I saw that movie, and I'm kind of a hard sell, and it completely had my attention throughout the whole movie, and I thought he did great. Another good movie of his was Safe House with Denzel. I enjoyed that movie. Another movie he did recently, which I think it got unfair criticism, was the film he did with Ben Kingsley. It's called Selfless. It really wasn't a bad film. Now, has Ryan Reynolds had stinkers? Sure. But who in Hollywood hasn't had a stinker, you know, every now and then? It happens. And mostly, it's the writers and it's the director's fault. That's my opinion on it. But the actors always get the brunt of the bullshit, you know, and the hate. So, anyway, rant. I'm gonna wrap it up, guys. Again, Deadpool was it was awesome. It was freaking amazing. Had a blast. I laughed. I was entertained throughout the whole film. I don't have not one complaint about it. And it's funny and ironic because I didn't know much about the character, admittedly. And when it was first announced, you know, my exact words, I was a Deadpool hater. And, I admit that. This is before I saw, like, the first trailer. More so, like, when it was, like, announced. And I was, like, word for word, I believe, I was like, oh, who gives a shit about, Wolverine, Punisher, Spider-Man hybrid wannabe? Because that's how I viewed him. Wisecracking like Spider-Man, the, like, Wolverine type, Weapon X Project Assassin, and Punisher kind of like darkness to him, like with guns. And to me, he was like a hybrid of all three and like non-original, but I was wrong. Deadpool is actually a really fun, original, awesome character. Very colorful. It's ironic because I really love the movie. And when I saw the first trailer, I was sold even then. I even said, okay, this shit looks awesome. Like, I just retracted my words, my statements on it, and I was sold from back then. And it's bad to go into a movie with expectations. And I did go into this movie with expectations, but usually that works, to your detriment. Like, you go into a movie with expectations and they never live up to that. But I gotta say, I went in with expectations for Deadpool, and it met everything. Like, I don't have one gripe about the film. And like I said, I would own it. Hands down, I would say go see it. Trust in Dave. You're not going to be disappointed. It is a freaking fun. It is a flat out A for what it is. So that's going to wrap up episode 80, guys. I hope you enjoyed the review. I hope I steered you in the right direction. Again, go see Deadpool. It's freaking awesome. Trust me. So we'll be back with episode 81. Hopefully, we'll get some group reviews back on here. I know, Brian's pretty busy. Paul's been busy, but, we'll pump out solos as we can, as we have time. So subscribe to us if you enjoy the content in the podcast. We really appreciate that. Hit us up on Twitter. Follow us on Twitter. We have a Facebook page. You can email us at newbreedfilmreviews2014@gmail for feedback, questions, suggestions, whatever. So guys, take care, and we'll catch you back with episode 81 later.